Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And today it's 50s Journal Day. So I thought it would be a good thing to do to start with. I know we have a lot of work still to do on the tags and bits and pieces we put in last week, and we're still going to do that. They need decorating. But I would really like to see how this masterboard works out and whether we can fill the rest of our pockets with pieces from the masterboard, or if there's other things we need to make as well. I'm hoping this is going to be enough, because this was a very big masterboard. I had to cut in half, and I have used a little bit of it already to make a couple of journal cards, but I thought we'll have a go at making some more things today to fit our pockets that are at the moment still empty. So I'll just put that to one side for a moment. I'll put that over here so we can have a look in our journal. I hope you're all well. We're all well here. Everybody's well in the family. Well, Arlo's got a cold as normal. But apart from that, everybody's in good health, which is always nice, isn't it? Always nice when everybody's well. And you don't have to worry about them. Right, so we got this far, or I got this far, and just checking where I didn't have anything. Up until here, I think we're pretty well good. We just have to go back and do a bit of extra decorating, which we will do as well. But I realised that this is half the paper bag. The other half is obviously in the other half of the signature. And I hadn't left anywhere, or I hadn't cut an opening to put something in the paper bag. So I thought perhaps I should start with that today. Because obviously we've got some pockets here, which we're filling, but I hadn't opened the paper bag. So that is what I'm going to start with today, because we're going to need to put something in that. So I'm just going to cut across the top here as best I can. These scissors are getting a bit blunt. I was talking about my fabric scissors getting blunt. I think these ones are as well. They're not working for me. I'll try another pair. I have now got a new pair of fabric scissors, identical to the old ones. Right, are we going to be able to cut into this? Sometimes it's a case of just getting started with these things. What I might be able to do is, once I've started it, is just to get in and cut that way. Cut the actual paper bag. Am I in? Yes, I am. Maybe now I've got into it, I can just trim these bits a little bit. I think it was just that beginning bit, because it's got that bit of lace on it. I think that was the problem. And I think I'll do a little thumb notch. And we will do and ink it up a little bit. It'll be roughly in the middle, very approximate. That's it. And now I'll just do a bit of inking, and we'll cut ourselves a journal card to go in it. Ink around there. Okay. Right, so I better just do a quick measure just to see how wide it needs to be, because that's not going to be. I'll have to do it upside down to get the tape measure, the ruler the right way around. So 3 3¾ should do it for width, and 6½ high. Let's put that aside, bring in our masterboard. Take a piece off this. Then I've got to be a bit careful, because I've got this lady here. So I don't want to cut it all the way down. Because this would be a good tag. I've got a pocket that's got a very a very narrow pocket that needs a narrow tag, so that would be quite good for that. Maybe I should take that piece off first, then I can make my other bits. Let me just see what that needs to be. Just going to find that pocket, because I think when we were going through before I didn't spot it as being a pocket. I'm not sure where it is now. See if we can find it. I don't even know which signature is in. I just know I thought, oh, I'd forgotten this was a pocket when I was going through. So it could even be further nearer the front. Could be. Was it this one? Yes, here it is. Right, here it is. This lady here. So that's really quite a narrow pocket, as you can see. So I just need to make sure I have a piece for that. So probably 2 1/4 is going to be wide enough for that. Okay, so I just want to make sure I make the most of this plasterboard. So I'm going to take this piece off here. Because that's a nice tag width. That piece there would be a good tag. Then we'll make the narrow tag, which I think will be a good length, hopefully. What did we say? No, that way around, yes. 2 1/4 we said, didn't we, for the width? So that's going 2 1/4 that way. And I think I'll take the cutter to the other end. I don't think it's going to cut from this way, is it? Oh, maybe it is. Oh, yep. Okay. So we'll do some work on that, but now we have our narrow tag. And we have a wider tag. And now, so really, I need it to be this way up, so I can see, it feels weird that way around. Okay, so we wanted 3 1/2 by wide by 6 something, was it? Yeah, can't remember. Where were we? This is a good start, isn't it? I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. Oop, 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 oop. Now I've lost my ruler. Oh my goodness. Just going too well. Well, wasn't going really that well, was it? Oh, here we are. Right, let's just quickly measure this. And it was 3 1/2 wide by 6 1/2. 3 1/2. Yeah, 3 1/2 will be wide enough, I think, by 6 1/2 high. 6 1/2. That should do it. So, how big is this? It's not long enough, so that'll have to be the width. So we'll go this 6 1/2 this way for the width, or for the length, 6 1/2. And we've got another tag, or I suppose it could even be a belly band or something. We can use that for something. And then we wanted it to be 3 1/2, didn't we? 3.5, maybe a bit over. There. So that is our journal card for our pocket, our paper bag pocket. So that's that. I think all I'm going to do for the moment is round those corners. So we'll need a focal point, and we will need a bit more embellishment, and probably we'll need a little top, little tab at the top. So that is going to go in here. There we are. Alright, it's catching on something. What's going on in there? Let's get a ruler in there and see what's going on. Nothing obvious. Let's try again. Don't think there should be anything. Don't think there's anything loose on the card itself. It won't go in. Why won't it go in? What's going on? Quite understand. Had this happened before. There we are. Whatever it is, it's not catching now. So that's gone in. Okay, so that's that one. We'll come back to that. This we have to finish. We've got some work to do on this tag, decorate the pocket. That has got to be finished. See, there's lots of finishing to do on some of these, but we'll come back and do all that. I just really wanted to make sure I got something to go in each pocket. So I need another journal card for this pocket. This is the other half of the paper bag. So we pretty much used up all of that piece of masterboard, although I've got a few bits to play with now. And we've got this piece. So are we going to go with the same size? Let's have a look. A quick measure. It might need to be a different width. So I would say probably 3 3/3, perhaps. Yeah, 3 3/4. Is that going to work? Sorry. 3 3/4, and I think the height would need to be a bit less than the other one because it's not going to stick out the top. We don't want it to stick out, we want it to fit nicely. So let's just make it 6. 6 by 3 3/4. So let's do we'll do a 3 3/4 wide. This isn't the best masterboard. Well, these aren't the best masterboards I've ever made. They're a bit crinkly, but I think we can cover it up. 3 3/4. That's going to be the width. That. And the height was going to be 6, wasn't it? Okay, let's do 6 there. And we've got a small one here. So we've got that to go in. Okay, and what should we do? Shall I do a different punch on this one? I'll do a little shaped punch, just to be something different. So this masterboard was made with some papers from the background kit, and for some bits of random other bits, and some book page, and just some bits of paper bits that I thought would just make it a bit more varied, a bit more interesting, and bits from those magazines that I have. Quite a few bits from the magazines. So that one will now go in here. Like that, that's gone in here. And I have gone ahead and backed all these ones that we just popped in. I have actually put backings on them. It's gone a bit crinkled, but never mind. Yeah, that's just popped in there. And I think I want to stamp something on this pocket here. I haven't decided quite what, but I will come back and do that. A bit more to do there. Right, so now hopefully we'll find some more things that need tags or journal cards. So here, I've got a couple of big pockets here. I've got this tag in that one. I'm wondering if that big tag that we cut at the beginning, bigger tag, would that work in here? I think it might. I think we just need to cut it down a bit. It's a bit tall. So I think I wanted to come to about there, so I might just trim that off a bit. Yeah. Just trim that. My little trimmer for this job. Put that in there to stop it closing on me. Right, and we're going to do tag shape on this one. Okay, so as ever we need to do something to that, but I think for the moment that will look fine in there. I think we've probably got a couple of videos worth of decorating to do, but hopefully that'll be the last things we do. So that's that tag in there. We've got a nice tag in here. We have got this ticket that I just popped in because it would fit, but it's a bit small, but I thought we could do with something bigger behind it. So I had backed it just so that it's got some writing space on the back, but on its own it's not really enough. So we need something probably long and tall to go in there. So let's see, how tall do we want it to be? Nearly as long as my ruler. This is an 8-inch ruler. It's a strange shape. I don't know where I got it from. So I think we'll make it perhaps 7.5 the height, and then we'll have it coming out. Does it go right to the end? Yes. So we'll have it at 3.5 wide by 7, what did I say, 7.5? Yeah, 7.5 by 3.5, so that's a tall tag or journal card. Got some, yeah, just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I've got the door into the attic space tends to bang. It's not got a very good catch on it, so it bangs. So I actually have quite a heavy case of scrapbook paper just propped against it to keep it shut and to stop it banging, because I've got one window open at the moment. But if anybody goes in there, which I think my husband must have done, every time he goes in that attic space just to have a look what's in there or whatever it was he does, he never puts that case that I use back in the right place. So let's just see how tall this is. So I always know when he's been poking around in there, because my door starts banging again. Right, so that is the full height. So if I go 3.5 this way, yeah, that should be quite good. Okay, I'll do it. Let's move this out the way again. Oh, it's just never quite got enough room for all of these things. Right, so I'm going to do that at 3.5 that way. Okay, and then it's amazing. I had a massive board, masterboard, but it's disappearing fast. I have to keep making quite big things. That's one of the things I didn't have, was some big journal cards and things, but it doesn't mean we can't make more. Then I wanted it at 7.5, didn't I? So I will go up to 7.5. Probably doesn't need much taken off. Actually, hardly any. Probably 1/2 inch. That's it. That's the only bit I need to remove. I think I can quite safely throw that bit away. Right, so I will round those corners. Where'd I put my corner rounder now? It was here. I had it, there it is. I'm going to do the big corner rounder, I think. There's quite a few bits of Roxy Creations paper, I think, in this masterboard as well. I use her papers in a lot in these kind of things. They just sometimes, the colours work quite well. And they just make nice pieces that you can just tear up and add to other things to make them more interesting. Okay. So let's see how that fits in here. So that's going to slide in there nicely. And we've got this little ticket as well, so that's a very nicely filled pocket. And then we have another side tuck. Doesn't need anything quite as wide though. So I think this might go into 3. I might take it from that side. Let's see. How wide do I want it? No more than 3 inches. I'm wondering if 3 is too wide. 2 3/4, I think, will make that one. Two 3/4, that's there. Alright. That's going to go in here. Okay, that one's going to go there. Got another one to go here. Let's see what else we've got. I might do something different in there. I've got some other options of stuff I could use. What's going in there? That's got to be decorated. I could also use one of these. I have this, could be made into a small tag as well. I think it probably needs a couple of things in there, so that might be possible to use that there. It looks like it's going to keep falling out otherwise. What else have we got? We've got our tall narrow pocket here. So let's put this tag in there. Get the length right. Let's see how tall that needs to be. I think we did. Did we measure it? I think we may have done. So yes, I think once I've done my tag shape, that one will be perfect. I think I'll just put something on the top of it to. If it's still a bit tall, I'll just trim a smidge off the bottom. And we'll just do take a little bit off the bottom there. How's that going to look? Pop that in here. Okay, I might just take a little bit off the bottom of that one, but that's there for the moment. What else do we need? I think we don't need a lot more, so I hope we don't. Running out of masterboard. That one's there. We have our big envelope pocket and one tuck here. So that's it. So this actually works very well because I wanted, where's it gone? There it is. I wanted to make sure I use this. So actually that would work quite well. Not have it come out too far, otherwise it won't go in. So let's just trim it to size. That way. That way. Let's see how that looks. And then we might have made the most of our masterboard here. See if that's going to go in easily. If it's not, I might have to do it a bit differently. Oh, it's going to be tight. I'm wondering what the best thing is to do. I think it may be, now I've cut it, that I'm going to have it coming in. I may have to put some paper over here and glue it to about there so it doesn't go in, the card doesn't go in too far. I want it to go into about there, don't I? So, okay, so let's, yep, I'm having to make a bit of a change about this because it's just too tight to get it into that envelope, which is a shame. But I think it's the only thing to do. So I'm going to mark it, that's where I need to glue to. And I'm going to get some, let's find some paper that would work. I'm looking at some green, I think. A bit of green look good, or I've got one of these ladies. That's somewhere I could put that in somewhere still. Let's see, what have I got? I really like this colour, so I think I might put that here. bit quite near the edge to make sure it's. But I want to see a little bit of the pink. Pencil. Where's my pencil gone? Right. I'm just going to put to about here. Make sure I've got plenty. Might give it a bit more. Make sure I've got enough to cover the whole envelope. I'll probably still have to cut it down a little bit, but yeah, just a little bit, but probably where I marked it, but it was just hard to tell whether I was marking it in the right place. And then we will do the height. And then that will go on there. Now I have that nice edge on the outside, I think. My apologies, I've got to turn my phone off. I'll do that. I'm going to put that on there like that. So what I think I'll do is I will draw a line down here, so that I know where to glue it to. So I'm going to have to glue the pocket shut on this side because the card won't go in far enough. I should have realised that before I cut the card, shouldn't I? Sometimes you don't realise until you try to put it in the pocket. Okay, so let's try this glue. This is the Hobbycrafts tacky glue, the new one I'm trying, so I haven't used it before. So I'm going to see how it goes in through this little nozzle. I don't know how well it'll work. Might be too thick. I just don't know. Okay, and now, of course, probably need to decorate this side as well now because it's got a bit wet from the glue. Let's see how it dries. May have overdone the glue a bit. Oh well. Okay. Let's just cut along here. Cut along this envelope's edge. To do it from this side, being left-handed. It's not quite the right angle for me. I'm just doing it that way around. Okay. Well, I won't leave it in there, but I'm going to just see how the card that I made will fit. Hopefully it'll only go so far. Yep, so it's just poking out the tiniest bit. That's just what I wanted. Good. Okay, that's that one. Put that there because that's got to dry. And we'll just need something to go in this little tuck spot here. I've got this piece of leftover masterboard. Is that going to fit? I think it will. I'll go there. It's possibly a little wide. Might just trim it a touch. Just take off a smidge. That, I think, will go in here. Okay, so we've got something in everything except there was one little tuck spot here, and I thought perhaps we could use something else. I've still got some of these bits of card that I use to make those little circles for my tuck spots. I could perhaps use a piece of that to make a tall journal card. And I wondered about this green because I really like that green, and it is a colour that we have been using. Not sure. I've got a piece of quite bright pink. I think it may be too bright. It's not very big. I think that colour is a bit bright anyway. Don't know if there's any other piece that would work. I'm guessing a piece of this might work. That's quite a good colour, but that's the colour, what we use for the circles. I want to use something different. I'm going to use this green, I think. This mould cardstock I've had for many years, but sometimes it's nice to just bring things back out that you've almost forgotten you had. And it's white on the back, so I think it would work. We can just, I don't think I'd want to back it. I could put some sewing paper on it, the sewing tissue paper, couldn't I? Because that would give it that vintage look without adding any bulk at all. Now, how wide do we want this one to be? I think 3.5 will be plenty big enough. 3 1/4. Yeah, I think 3 1/4. 3 1/4 will work, I think. Let's put this pin back in the bottle. Three and a quarter. That's good. And we'll just cut it down a little. See how this would fit. Yeah, I rather like that in there. about the right size. Good, we've got that piece. So everything, all the pockets have now got something in. We just need to go back and make sure it's all decorated and as we want it. So I'll make a start and see where I got to in my bit of preparation the other day. So we'll work our way through now again, now that we've got the pockets all filled, and see if there's any more we need to do on some of the pieces, and there's probably is. That one's all done. So, okay, so initially when I finished last week, I had this piece in here, which is one I've had for a while. I thought the colours went. I had that in there, and I had this journal card in here, and all I've done, I've backed it, and I've added a little bit of lace, a couple of little bits of lace, just to cheer it up, make it more interesting, which I've stapled on, covered up the staple with a bit of Tim Holtz tape. I popped that in there, and I felt it was a bit loose, so I thought, well, actually, this would look quite good with it. So then I moved that up there. Then I thought, well, now I need something in here. And this is one of the Joey Cardmaker cards. In fact, I've got some more of those, so we'll see if we can get any more of those in somewhere. One of the journal cards, and I thought, well, actually, the colour goes really nicely, and I think she looks lovely there. I have backed her, and I think she looks very nice. I don't know that she needs any more. It's still got a bit of room, so I'm just wondering if I need another little tag. Whether to put another little something in there. I don't know how that would look. Not sure about the colour. I could do something. Decide how I'm going to decorate it. I think maybe just something like a little dangly label or something. Maybe a little piece. Oh, sorry, I'll just bring you back in. So yeah, I might just do something with that. Not sure at the moment what, but it just fills that pocket up a little bit, because these pockets have got those little gussets, so they need filling. So that one's okay. This one needs something, doesn't it? Needs something behind here. Forgotten about that one. So, well, I don't know about this, because it's got the same paper on it. Could cover it up. I mean, that would fit in there quite well. Could be a bit wider, but I don't have anything wider now. What's the back on? I've done the backing. Right, that will need something, because I want to cover this up, because that matches exactly, which we don't want that. So I probably will want to cover that up, but I think for now I'm going to put it there. I like things to sit somewhere, and then I'll get an idea of what I want to do with them. So we had this piece of the journal, of the masterboard already cut, and that was in this pocket. So I did have a go at finding something to decorate this up a bit with. So I thought I would take one of these. These are one of the Joey Cardmaker ladies, and I thought I'd back her onto there. I thought that would look quite nice. So I will just trim that. Okay, just trim it off a bit. I think she needs something to lift her away from that background. Trim that off. all these bits of paper floating around now. So we've got that. And I'm going to round all the corners. I feel like I want to add some lace as well. Nope. Right. Okay, so let's see if we can find a little scrap of something. So I want to make sure that covers that there. So I think maybe a bit of that would be nice. And these pieces of torn lace. A bit too scrappy really. Oh, I'm thinking maybe not a bit of that, maybe a little bit of fabric as well would be nice there. Where did my fabric bits go? There they are. I've got this, I need a bigger piece I think. And I've got this bit that I just need to keep an eye on where it's going on the pocket so that I don't get all clashy. Okay, with the fabric. That's not going to work very well. This piece might, I don't know. You see what I did? I got some of the wet wipe on it, and it's just done what it does on paper. It's had the same effect as when I've just bleached all the colour out, which is a bit annoying. It's a silly thing to do. It's taught me a lesson. So I might just take that piece off. Just wondering if that bit of red would work there. I'll cut that piece. Cut this bit off as well. Get rid of those bits, and they can stop annoying me. Just a little bit. Oh, there's a bit on there as well. Okay. Well, I don't need much. Will it tear for me? Will that work? That there. That could just go there. And then we'll just have a little bit of... I don't think this piece works there quite. Got this little bit. Yeah, perhaps that would work. Just to make that look a bit better, a little bit more give it a bit of texture. Okay, let's just ink around these two. Now I feel like I need a little something on the top there to cover up the staple. I'm wondering about a button now. Sometimes when you start decorating you just can't stop. So let's have a look, see if I can find a little, I think I quite fancy a little blue button, I don't know why. So I have some small buttons. I think I'll put a little blue one on. I got blue on in the background, and I think perhaps I just wanted to bring that out a bit. I'm not going to put a thread through it or anything, I'm just going to glue it on. When I can find one that works. That's the right size. So I've got this little one, I think that will work okay. I'm going to do that. Okay, that's going to go on there. Hopefully it'll stay there, otherwise I'll have to use my hot glue gun. Which I don't do very often, but now and again it's the only thing that would work. So I've got that on there, and all I was going to do to finish it, one more finishing touch, move these bits of fabric out of my way. I have this piece of some of the Tim Holtz paper that I used for one of the, a couple of pieces I used in the journal, and I've got a strip, so I thought I'd pop that on there as a tab. Let's just round, I think we'll round those top corners. Ink it up a little bit. Okay, and just, oh, this is quite thick, I'm going to try the art glitter glue. Still not sure how well that other one is going to work for me. But I don't know if it's going to flow through that little nozzle. So if I put that one back there. Is that central? It needs to go up a little bit. Yep. Okay, that's that little card looking a lot better than it was when I started, at least I think so. And let's see. Let's pop this one in here. And I thought it'd be quite nice just to have that bit of fabric popping over the top. I think that looks really nice. Really pleased with that. So how are we doing for time? Okay, so that's all we've got time for today. We didn't get very far in decorating what we've put in, but we have used up all of our masterboard. All I've got left, something's gone flying, don't know what. Oh, that's probably that was my trimmer, never mind. Just got these couple of little bits left from that massive, those 2 pieces of masterboard that I had. So they've filled up the journal nicely. Lots more to do as far as decorating goes, but I feel like we're making real progress now that we've got something in every pocket. Now we have to go back and make it all look lovely, haven't we? Make it all look so even more pretty than it does already. And I'm loving how it's going. So there's lots still to do, but we are definitely making progress. So yeah, really happy with how this is going. It's getting quite chunky, but the nice thing about using the paper bag as a cover, it allows for all this growth, which I think is lovely. It makes it real soft and makes it still feel tactile and squidgeable, and it's a lovely thing to use for a cover when you know it's going to be a chunky one. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you'll come and join me again next time. And if you haven't seen this video before, or haven't watched any of my videos before, please do think to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.